Number 5. Double or Nothing 2019. This was the inaugural pay-per-view for All Elite Wrestling, and it featured one of my favorite matches between Cody Rhodes and Dustin Rhodes. This match told a great story and it was filled with a ton of emotion. This show also featured the Young Bucks versus the Lucha Brothers. This feud would continue going on and would conclude at another pay-per-view that is on this list. Number 4. Double or Nothing 2020. This was the first pay-per-view of the pandemic era for All Elite Wrestling, and they still delivered us a very strong and solid show from top to bottom. It also featured one of the most rewatchable matches of all time with the Stadium Stampede between the Elite and the Inner Circle. Number 3. Double or Nothing 2021. It was the in-ring return of the Icon Sting as he teamed up with Darby Allin to take on Ethan Page and Scorpio Sky, and we also got to get the second Stadium Stampede match, but this time around it was the Inner Circle versus the Pinnacle. Number 2. Revolution 2020. This was the last pay-per-view before the pandemic era, and it was stacked from top to bottom. We had great moments such as MJF getting a victory over Cody Rhodes and Jon Moxley becoming the new AEW World Heavyweight Champion. It also featured one of the greatest tag matches of 2020 with the Young Bucks facing off against Kenny Omega and Hangman Page. Number 1, All Out 2021, and what an event it was. We got the debut of both Adam Cole and Bryan Daniels. We also got the in-ring return of CM Punk as he faced off against Darby Allin. This event alone changed the landscape of professional wrestling today. Those are my top 5 favorite AEW pay-per-views to date. Let me know what you guys think and comment below. Tell me if you agree or if you disagree. I'm Justin, the Wrestling Classic with THS Wrestling, and keep doing the thing.
What's up, guys? Mandy Rose here, and you're watching THS Wrestling on the Hashtag Show.
What's going on, everybody? Hope everybody had a great weekend. This is THS Wrestling presents That Wrestling Show. My name is John, and I am joined by Neeson. Neeson, how's it going?
It goes, man. It's going well. I got Braun Breaker breaking shit on to my right. And then I got the Warlock to my left. So I mean, hey, life is good.
The Warlock. Good. I feel like this is beating out all of my wrestling shirts that I wear on here.
I mean, it's pretty dope.
Is the Adam Warlock shirt today? Oh, HBK.
I had to wear my HBK shirt today.
Love
it,
it.
Man. How's it going on this? You know, it's 2 more days until the Spidey Day. I'm excited. I'm dodging all spoilers. Fuck Variety, by the way. And
did they spoil it?
Oh, they put a whole they basically they spoiled it. Yes,
that's annoying.
And everybody is like, but they always do this with like Marvel movies, and everybody's just basically like fuck Variety. Everybody in the journalism pop culture scene is just like fuck Variety.
Well, good to know. Good to know that I should avoid them. Ken, what's going on, my friend? Hope you're doing well. We got a decent amount to get through. Let's shout out. I know this is gonna be weird coming from me. Shout out Steph Curry, all-time 3-point leader in the Garden, doing it in the Garden.
And the team that he wanted to get drafted into, but they did not move up and did not draft him. He broke the all-time 3-point shooter, becoming, which he already was, the greatest shooter to ever live. My God.
I believe, as they said, the man who started the renaissance of the 3-pointer. Everybody wanted to hit the threes.
Everybody wanted to hit the threes. Shout out to good old Wendell Stephen Curry, representing the Warriors in the Yay area, hometown of good old Pingle Warlock, right there, home area.
Yay area,
home area,
Bay Area, and back down. My dogs are. We're going to talk about wrestling, but I can hear them professional wrestling in the other room, so that's why I keep doing this. So greatest shooter who ever lived. You haven't seen JP Thrice play Warzone. Well, that is not true. But I will say the new Warzone map I've been killing it on, if I do say so myself.
I haven't been invited to play with JP Thrice.
We gotta go.
No, I suck.
No, that drop shot's gonna help you. I already know. This man's a drop shot master, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes.
All right. So I want to talk about the build to something that happened last Friday. We know that Dante Martin had supposedly joined Team Taz, and he made them look a fool in the Dynamite Diamond Ring Battle Royale. And Taz said, you know what? I have a huge announcement. I'm going to announce it later tonight on Dynamite. And that was that he was indeed going to send Hook. Friday night.
Send Hook.
Friday night was the debut of Hook. I will say the match overall I thought was very good for a debut. You can't go wrong coming out to Action Bronson. That's for sure. So I love the storyline of, okay, the hottest prospect in AEW went somewhere else. That's fine. My son is a hotter prospect. So he's going to, they sent Hook, they sent him, and he looked pretty good in his debut, I thought. Neeson, what'd you think?
Man, I thought it was one of the better looking debuts that we've seen in recent memory. Kudos to Hook and kudos to Taz for being a trainer, for being a part of his training. I know he's training with Cody Rhodes down there at the Nightmare Factory, but going from a lacrosse player to look at that suplex. My God, look at those popped hips, man. He really did his thing. And shout out to Franco. I'll say Franco.
Franco.
To Death Soul over there, man, for really making him look good as well.
Oh my God,
It a very, very, very good showing for his first time as a send Hook.
One match in and Hook. Okay, let's bring it back a little bit. Chris Chetty was pretty good, but no, I thought Hook looked great. And I mean, at the end of the night,
hey, yeah, when he got that, when Tony Khan tweeted that Hook is all elite, I was like, oh, they're all in on Hook, and Hook is man.
So, Hook is all elite. He has made his debut. What do you see? Let's see. We do 5-year plans. I think that's too long to predict. What's the 1-year plan? Where do you see Hook in a year?
I don't see any championship gold on him in a year. Maybe the FTW championship, like maybe, but I see Hook, being still maybe lower mid card, but I see him definitely getting into feuds by on Solo and doing his thing, man. I think when you look at the other side and not to compare, you have Rey Mysterio and Dominic Mysterio, right? I think Dominic Mysterio, him breaking away from his dad is probably going to be the best thing for him to be able to truly become the wrestler that he's destined to be, because he has had so much lucha training and has wrestled outside of the WWE. I think, man, it's a match. It's something that Hook could really, being able to wrestle all these people at such an early age, or just like early time in the business, being able to go into a feud, like you said, great debut. Him versus Martin should be a solid feud. Like he already has a feud set up.
Yeah,
that's insane. But it's gonna be amazing. All I know is I'm here for it, and I really, really can't wait.
I think also we mentioned Dante, Dante Martin. I mean, Darius Martin is still recovering from injury, so we could have some interesting 6-mans between Team Taz and Top Flight and Leo. I think that would be awesome.
That would be. I mean, the fact that he didn't debut in the tag match, I think is really
that tells you something.
Yeah, they definitely are not trying to hide or hinder him or anything.
Yeah, so, they're putting him out there. And on, it wasn't on Dark. I think it was smart to do it on Rampage, because we know the internet is all abuzz about Hook. We love Hook. Hook hasn't. I don't even think he said a word. He just like walks around with a fun size bag of chips and eats it.
Because he's all that in a bag of chips, baby.
Absolutely. He didn't say a word. I loved his attitude, where he got in the ring and turned his back. I thought that was a lot of fun. Yeah, man, I'm very interested to see where he is in a year. I think depending on how he progresses, I could maybe see him vying for the TNT championship. I could see that. But I think it all really depends on how they build him. And, we've seen that they're building with the pillars. They've built a lot of people up. And especially like Jungle Boy also, I think might be a good comparison. Not
Yep.
like style wise, but
Yep.
maybe career wise.
Right.
But yeah, I think the sky's the limit for Hook. I'm very excited to see where we go from here. And talking about champions, we have two world champions that we kind of want to talk about. And Neeson brought this up to me earlier, and I thought it was kind of interesting because I didn't really think anything of it. And so we have two champions. We have we have Big E, the WWE champion, and then we have Hangman Adam Page, the AEW world champion. Both the top champions in their brand, but it kind of seems like they're not being treated as such. I think like Hangman hasn't, he won the title. It was great. We all loved it. And he hasn't wrestled since then. I know we're trying to build up the match with Bryan Danielson, which we'll talk about tomorrow, but he hasn't wrestled once. He just comes to the ring after his friends get beat up. And that's pretty much where we are. How are you feeling about Hangman right now? And then we'll get to Big E in a second, because I think Big E is a little different because Hangman hasn't defended his title. He hasn't wrestled. Big E,
Right.
on the other hand, has, and
Right.
that might not be going too well for him
Yeah.
in the win
Yeah.
category.
So as far as Hangman, you're saying how you feel first with Hangman, right?
Yeah.
I understand they're trying to build the match between Daniel Bryan and Hangman. I still think Hangman has not been at a place where he could win and then just show up with the title and not really work.
Right.
And we're talking about the character, right? So it is a thing of, I guess, paying to see the champion wrestle, but Hangman isn't Kenny Omega, unfortunately. Hangman isn't, Chris Jericho. Hangman isn't John Moxley. He doesn't have years upon years of working on top for so long. Hangman we all rooted for him to win. And I think if you're going to have him not wrestle, make it a reason for him not wrestling, beat him down or like have it be something within the worlds of the wrestling room. The reason why he's not wrestling, not just because, well, we're saving him until the pay-per-view, because
Right.
it doesn't even feel big. Like you're making Daniel Bryan a big deal for sure, because you're having him wrestle and go through the Dark Order. But who and what does Hangman Adam Page have to wrestle or go through? And he's supposed to be the babyface champion.
So, I mean, and I agree. And we talked last week about how Bryan Danielson is painting himself as the hero in this. He still comes out through the face tunnel.
Pickle.
He is wrestling every week while Hangman's not. And the more and more you think about it, you go, well, maybe Bryan Danielson has a point.
Right.
What would you do? What would you have done differently with Hangman? Because it's like he could have at least been like, you know what? Bryan Danielson's clearly ducking me. Who else wants a shot? Like we could have done something with that, or
Yeah, but even that, if you want to keep it within this realm of Bryan Danielson versus Hangman, I think whoever is going to be the next guy, you have him mysteriously beat Hangman down, right? It's like, dang, Brian, you sending people to attack me, like
yeah.
so that's a whole nother thing that could have been into play. It's just you have to keep Hangman busy and not just like on a commentary or just there to cut a promo. Or,
Or just
like
running after his friend gets beat up. Yeah.
yeah, like give us something more, man, or have Daniel Bryan sneak attack him, or like if do something.
We need something with him.
Give
But
us
I mean,
something.
with Big E, we're getting a lot of somethings. He's wrestling a lot, and he's kind of eh, he's getting beat a lot. He's been beaten by 2.0. Oh, that's great.
That would have been great. Give Brian give Dragon a faction. That would have been freaking fantastic.
Well, I mean, we'll see. Who knows what the future holds for him? He seems to be all about honor and handshakes. I'm just saying that. Uh, so on the other end of this other end of the spectrum, we have Camilla who needs attention, but we have Big E who has been wrestling, but and is our world champion, but has been losing. And he's lost to, I believe, everyone else that is in this four corners match that's going to be on day one. And we're not really used to seeing our champions lose if they're not losing the title. Whenever you see a non-title match, you go, "Oh, that seems a little fishy." But how are we feeling about how we're building up Big E to this big match where he has a 1 in 4 chance of winning?
I understand the logic of like, you're give the man credible opponents, and then so he could fight his way over it. But when you're the champion, I if you're a WWE champion and you're supposed to, like, you're a big guy, you're not some like little under scrappy dog,
Yeah.
trying to fight from the bottom. Like, you're a big guy. Therefore, you should not be looking this vulnerable or losing this much. I just think it's a failed attempt, and it makes me feel like it will. I won't be surprised if they do drop the title at day one. Like, as much as like, this is all giving the feels of like, okay, it's giving Big E something to come over, but it feels also like he's not being treated as a proper champion. It's your first title reign, and within that title reign, you lose to every person that's about to be in this match, and they're all legitimate people.
Yes,
They're all
absolutely.
made people. Like, and then they're all at once. So then what? Like, where do we go now? And I think it feels like we probably may go to Austin Theory, right after Finn Balor. We go back to a program with Austin Theory and Big E, but it just sucks. It really sucks that we have these two champions that, to me personally, represent this generation of people the most. Both battled mental health issues. Both are really advocates for mental health issues. Both are advocates for inclusivity. Both are just exactly what we as modern day living human beings should inspire to be. And I feel like on both sides we're just being let down. Like, when we look back, we're gonna be like, that was a title reign on both sides. It's like,
Yeah. Especially if they both end very soon. So you think that Big E is he's gonna lose it at day one?
I wouldn't be surprised at all if they dropped the title at day one and Big E was had to quote unquote fight from the bottom again to get to a title, but he never did.
And I mean, I know we're gonna talk about it in a bit here, but are you now of the belief that, I know, and we've been asking this for weeks, but we see Bryan Danielson wrestle every week. We see him dominate, and we see Hangman not really do much of anything.
Yeah.
So I mean, I guess we're kind of skipping a little forward here, but I guess let's talk about Winter is coming.
Yeah.
And let's just talk about this title match. Are you of the belief that tomorrow we will have a new AEW world champion? Will Hangman be one and done on this?
Logically, Hangman can't lose.
I agree.
Hangman cannot lose this. Like this is Punk just said in an interview saying that AEW gives the fan gives the fan the payoffs they deserve instead of leaving them miserable. If Daniel Bryan walks out with that title, I never want to hear AEW saying they're the alternative to WWE. I never want to hear that. They are the same. They will be the exact. They are all entertainment wrestling. That's what they will be considered.
Wow. I sincerely hope that Hangman wins.
I me too. Me too.
I think it would be a real step backwards if Bryan Danielson wins. A real step backwards, not just for AEW, but for Hangman, the story that we built up for so long, and
Such
for
a
him,
great story.
it would just undo a lot of that. Like, I still think people would love Hangman, but it would just be like, yeah, but he lost his first title defense against Bryan Danielson. And I mean, AEW, like you said, they claim to be the alternative. They want to build up new guys. Hangman is, I mean, I wouldn't call him a new guy, but compared to Bryan Danielson, who's been around forever, he's a newer guy. So I think we should figure something out to have him keep his championship, because I don't think that story, or his story of being champion, is anywhere near being finished.
Agreed. Absolutely agree.
We have a couple of other matches from Winters coming. We might see now. I kind of wish every time MJF won the ring, he got another one. So he just had like a bunch. So the finals are going to be MJF versus Dante Martin for the Dynamite Diamond Ring final. They were the last two in the battle royal. Let me tell you, I think I just want to pivot real quick. Do you think MJF could ever be like a true face?
No, I think yes. He's not even joking. He's the Miz. Like yes, he could be a face, but no, like you don't want that. You never want that. Never be a face.
I mean, the crowd work he was doing, I understand that he was in his hometown, but the crowd work he was doing was when he's like, I don't know, guys, should I go? Should I go back? That whole swerve was okay, but we can't do that right now. That whole swerve was really great. I thought it was really well done, but that's besides the point. We're going to get MJF versus Dante Martin, probably the biggest match of Dante's career besides
Absolutely.
He fought Jericho, right?
Yes, he did.
I'd say this is bigger because it's for something.
Yeah, it's for something. I mean, he's definitely not going to win. MJF needs to stay strong before he goes to get good old Phil.
You think MJF's going to win?
Absolutely.
You don't think CM Punk screws him over?
No, you don't. You can't get CM. If CM Punk screws over MJF, you're making CM Punk a heel.
But we're out of. I mean, they already made him a heel, but we were in Buffalo, so you think anyway?
The internet will, like, as much as they have been respectfully booing MJF, but if you cost him the ring, I think you're gonna get booed everywhere. CM Punk for sure.
This is interesting. Little brother feud.
Now you're booking WWE storylines. That's what you're doing.
Oh my god! So I think we're split on it. I think Dante wins.
Really?
And I honestly, I feel like at this point, I like MJF. I don't think anything would really hurt him. I don't think losing the Dynamite. I mean, he wouldn't have the ring anymore, which would be but I does the ring really fit with Dante? I guess.
No, I think it doesn't. I think that's why you have like that's an MJF staple. He said, "I'm trying to cry." Hey man, that was a WWE storyline. What am I supposed to say? What am I supposed to do? Man.
Oh,
if he aligns himself with Hook,
No, he's saying Team Taz costs.
That's
See, I like
yeah.
that better.
Yeah, he said
This is a better scenario.
MJ Team Task cost Dante the match. So I'm saying, like, if he's like, aligning himself just like, yeah, like Team Hook is, or Team Task is my people, like, man, man.
Could be interesting.
Yep.
Another interesting match. We have Matt Seidel taking on Wardlow. Got to make sure you put the D in there, folks. I think this could be an interesting match. I think the style contrast is really cool, and I think it's good that we're getting Wardlow out there a little more. It seems like each week he's getting more matches. Granted, he does have the chairman, his accountability buddy with him.
Yeah.
But I think this will be a nice match. I can see Wardlow winning. I don't really see Seidel winning, but I think Seidel will help him look stronger than he already is. I think it's a good feature match on a I guess I'll call it a special event show.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know, man. I think you said something about Roller being out more in the front. I think something is going on with him and MJF. I think it's we're going to get that payoff more sooner than later.
Oh,
it's definitely different than it has been in the last year or so, right? It's definitely something there. Maybe does Warlow cost MJF the match against CM Punk? Maybe it's something like that.
So you think we could be getting an MJF Wardlow feud sooner rather than later?
To me, it feels like that's where we're going. But I do know that Wardlow is money, and he's gonna be money at some point.
Dude.
It just to be interesting of when that point will happen.
Yeah, 100%, 100%.
Or
Another match.
Will it be happening in New York?
Yeah, maybe. Another match. I never thought I would be interested in a rubber match as much as I am in this one. But the first two matches that Serena Deeb and Hikaru Shida have been bangers, especially the second one that was in the tournament.
Yeah.
I loved both of them. I'm very excited to see what happens in this third match. Sorry, I think we both okay. There you go. A little strobe effect there. Very excited for this. It looks like we're seeing a little darker side of Hikaru Shida because she is not happy that Serena Deeb cost her match in the TBS Championship tournament. Who do you think gets the advantage here? Do you think it's Hikaru Shida or do you think Serena Deeb pulls out another shocking victory?
I think Hikaru Shida pulls it out. I think she's making her statement clear that she was one of the one of the champions during the pandemic that was trying to get us through, and she probably feels that the respect isn't really given for that. But I think during with this Serena Deeb pairing, you definitely see her turning it up, and you definitely seeing her really like dig deep and becoming more of the aggressor, as you said. And so I think that's for a reason. That's for the fact of, I want my respect. Like I deserve my respect.
And I feel like that's all the matches from this event, unless they have announced something within the last couple of minutes. But I think the one thing we need to remember is that last year we had Sting. Sting came out.
Oh, it's been a year.
It has been a year since Sting has been with AEW.
Wow.
And now a lot of people are saying Winter is coming with Sting last year. Who will Winter be this year?
Yeah.
Do you think we see anyone debut? And Tony Khan has kind of thrown away the, we've got a bunch of big shows coming up. People could come from, whenever, but, who do you think could show up tomorrow?
Yeah, I never thought Winter would be Sting, so I don't know who was Winter this year or if there is one. I couldn't even tell you just because that was such like a Sting Winter. Like that's
Yeah, it was weird.
I don't know the correlation in that. I mean, all right.
Besides, they just wanted to use a snow effect.
Yeah, it's like let's give it to Sting. What? It's supposed to be a scorpion. It doesn't matter.
Listen, nothing wrong with a good snow effect.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
So
one possibility I'll throw out to you: could we see the Briscoes?
yeah, but would that be Winter? Like would that be like
Well, I don't like. I know I've said like who would Winter be. I don't know
yeah,
if it necessarily needs to be they come out as White Walkers or some
that'd
shit.
be amazing. Seth Rollins comes out in his White Walker WrestleMania costume.
Whoops, wrong show. Uh, but do you think the Briscoes could show up because we know that FTR
yeah.
showed up to ROH's final battle? A lot of people showed up, but that was probably I don't know if that was the most shocking one. I'd say the former Braun Strowman showing up was probably the most shocking. But this is sorts of a dream match. So do you think the Briscoes maybe show up to return the favor to FTR tomorrow?
Absolutely. I think that's I will put money on it. The Briscoes show up on a big show, and the crowd goes crazy, and then next thing you know, we kind of get that for the next month or so. Maybe after, because they have a January show, correct?
A pay-per-view?
Yeah, don't they?
I think they do.
Yeah. So, yeah. So guessing we see
Oh,
Briscoes and FCR. Oh, yeah. So they at GCW, that'll be interesting.
do you think that's the match they have at Hammerstein?
Oh yeah. Possibly.
That would be interesting.
Yeah, possibly.
But who knows? I mean, anybody can show up, and we talk about ROH. They had their final battle for who knows how long, and I will say the night ended wonderfully with our maybe possible final Ring of Honor World Champion, the greatest wrestler in the world, the Octopus, Jonathan Gresham. Shout out to him. Was very excited for him. And we'll see. It kind of seems like their titles are going to live on in other promotions until they get back together, possibly WrestleMania weekend. So
Yeah.
who knows? Who knows where anyone will show up? It's a fun time to be a wrestling fan. And with that, let's get to our hashtags of the week.
Ooh.
You want me to go?
Yes. Yes.
All right, I have a kind of sad hashtag of the week. And my hashtag of the week is hashtag Jimmy Rave approved. We lost Jimmy Rave over the weekend. I just mentioned Ring of Honor. He was a staple in Ring of Honor when I was watching it back in 2003. He was part of, at first, I believe he was AJ Styles' protege, and he quickly turned on him and joined a faction called the Embassy and became the crown jewel of Ring of Honor. Great. He was the definition of heel heat. Like he would have, people would throw streamers at their favorite wrestlers. They would throw toilet paper at him, like full rolls of toilet paper. And it was just like such a great thing. And I kind of lost track of Jimmy Rave for a couple of years. And he popped up on Henson. You're just going to lay there? Okay. He popped up on the independent scenes in a tournament called the Scenic City Invitational. I highly suggest people go check it out. He won the first tournament and he went to the finals in the second tournament. And he just kind of became like, he reinvented himself a little bit. And I really, really enjoyed him on the independents. And he had a rough couple of years towards the end of his life. And I think you might have retweeted it. and I am blanking on who said it,
Ali.
but who was it?
Ali.
Yes, we got to stop giving people their flowers when they're gone. And Jimmy Rave definitely deserved his flowers. He was always entertaining. I thoroughly enjoyed him, and that is my hashtag of the week. Jimmy Rave approved.
Yeah, man. I it's really tough to follow that one because that was a real one. Mine, uh, my hashtag of the week goes to none other than Sami Zayn. So my hashtag will be justice for Sami. Sami Zayn, the strongest WWE superstar in the company. Why? Why, you say? Well, it took Farmer Boy Brock and the tribal chief Roman Reigns to put him down the last week before last. So this week he comes in strong-willed with two doctors by his side on a wheelchair, and he proceeds to cut a promo only to have Farmer Boy Brock kick him out of his wheelchair and give him an F5, and he still managed to do his job. Now, all I'm gonna say is that Sammy is doing one hell of a job on that greatest 2 hour of sports entertainment, SmackDown, every Friday nights. He's over there killing it. And I just think that we're gonna miss him when he's gone. We take advantage of this man while he's here. And like we just said in Pingle's hashtag, we have to start giving people the flowers while we're here and not waiting till they're gone. And so I really just want to take time out to master for work that Sami Zayn is doing, just like Seth Rollins is doing, by the way. Even though I boo the bad guys, I must boo them with a golf clap. So hashtag justice for Sammy.
He's really just like, if he's going out, like if he's gonna leave WWE after his contract's up, he's really making the most of it. It's crazy. And it's almost like, I know we do a lot of kayfabe with him. It's almost like I don't want him to go back to the character he was, you know? Because he's made this character, like, he could take that anywhere.
Yeah, anywhere.
Character anywhere. That being said, I would not mind seeing someone come back from the orphanage. I would love that, but it's still like, then we wouldn't get, you know, this interaction with this character other places. That's just, you know, that's just what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
These dogs are losing their minds. So we're gonna wrap it up here. I want to make sure everyone goes to our YouTube page, youtube.com/that#show TV. Check out the interview I did with the Switchblade Jay White. It was very cool. It was a lot of fun, and he gives some insight on which part of the rogues gallery of Batman villains might have inspired him a little bit when creating Switchblade. And you can see my reaction to that when he says it, because I never thought of it, and you probably didn't either. And he talks about the NBA, and he does not talk about how NXT 2.0 is cold hot dog water. Wow. Billy Ray just running in with the chair, taking everybody out, and just running on out. Wow. Coldest of hot dog water.
Not gonna disagree. But yeah.
Woof indeed. Make sure you also go to our Instagram page, instagram.com/ths.wrestling. The Wrestling Classic, Justin helps us out a lot over there. We appreciate him, and we appreciate everybody that gives us a follow over there. You're probably watching us on Facebook, facebook.com/THS Wrestling News. This is where you can find us every week. And we forgot to do one more thing, guys. It's that time of the year again.
Yeah.
It's time for the THS Wrestling End of the Year Awards. If you go to, and I believe I created a tiny URL for this, it's tinyurl.com/THSW 2021, and that will take you directly to our voting. You can vote there for wrestler or female wrestler of the year, male wrestler of the year, tag team of the year, event of the year, and then some other stuff. And we are going to we'll be getting that to you. I'm going to drop the link here.
It's also in the description of the show. So if you get it, you can get it in chat, but it's also in the description of the show as well. So if you're on YouTube, you could click it. It's right there. If you're on Facebook, you could be able to click it. It's right there, but it's also in the chat. But please get the votes in. Let's make them count. And then you can see who won and at your year-end awards.
Yeah, and then we personally will also be giving out our year-end awards. Like, I don't know who my wrestler of the year is going to be. I still have like 15 days to watch 150 matches. So who knows who will be my number one wrestler of the year. And I'm going to be putting out on that #show.com my top 100. So you'll be able to see it there. Very excited stuff. You can find us. You can find me on Twitter, Instagram, Twitch, JP Thrice Boom in the corner there. And Neeson, you can find him on.
You can find me in the club, pockets full of dubs. No, but you can find me on Twitter at YRF Squad. You can find me on Instagram at Stay Fly Life. But most importantly, you can find me at Twitch at Stay Fly Life. Guys, I'm gonna get back to streaming at some point in life. Maybe when Pingo invites me to play Warzone with him. And I was
gonna play the show tonight. I was gonna play the show tonight.
Yeah, show. Wow, yeah. I don't want to get beat, like just destroyed.
I got some diamonds. I'm ready to go.
So but yeah, guys, follow us up.
Yes, absolutely, guys. Thanks for joining us this week. And once again, that #show.com for everything trending in geek pop culture. And we'll see you next week.
Don't spoil Spider-Man, guys.
Don't do it. You're a bad person if you do that.
Bye, Nixon Noel. Bye, Nixon Noel.